Suzanna, broadcasting live on the World-Herald Live app or on Omaha.com. Catch her every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, empowering you to look for and accept the good in everything. The future is bright. We'll take a look at what's to come in yours. This is Conversations with Suzanna.
You are exactly where you need to be. This is Conversations with Suzanna, heard live on the World-Herald Live app or Omaha.com/Suzanna. If you're on that one, you will see I have 3 fine, beautiful women in the studio and a little 4-legged friend, but we'll talk to them in a minute. This show is set up about you. We're here to help you find out information that you can use and that can inspire you, help you in your daily lives. So we're going to be talking today about animals. And we're going to be starting it. By the way, you can call in if you have questions. We have our Chad in the other room on the line ready for your call. And the number is, write this down, you can call anytime, 402-255-2000. Again, the number is 402-255-2000. Now, here's how this rolls. This is how we're going to rock and roll, honey. First of all, I have our beautiful Pam in the office, in the room. Pam is in the house. Pam, if you could just start interviewing, tell me who you are, Pam, besides a fine-looking lady in the Omaha World-Herald studio. Tell me about yourself, Pam.
Well, my name is Pam Weiss, and I work for the Nebraska Humane Society doing marketing and PR.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you're the go-to lady if we want to talk.
Yes.
Okay.
But we've specialized today.
Right. We're specializing today, but you're my contact. You also happen to know some people in the studio in this building. Is that correct, or is that a secret?
Oh, you mean at the World-Herald?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I know a couple people at the World-Herald.
Okay. We don't want to say their names because they don't buy flowers. Is
exactly.
that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. We have a husband who doesn't buy flowers, which I think is, Chad, you buy flowers for your girlfriend, correct? How long have you been doing this, by the way, Pam?
At the shelter for about 13 years.
13 years. And what brought you to the shelter, please?
Well, I actually started doing TV and then radio and then kind of morphed into PR and marketing, because the job opened at the shelter and I love animals so much. So it was really the job.
You do love animals.
Mm-hmm.
And how many animals do you have?
We have...
You, personally.
3 dogs.
3 dogs?
Yep.
What kind?
2 labs, 1 pom.
1 pom.
Mm-hmm.
I bet the pom rules the lab.
You know what? He thinks he does. The labs actually can roll him, though, not meaning to. They're just big and clunky, and he's a little wee thing that doesn't walk very well. So
Okay. All right. Pam, you have brought us in 2 behavior specialists.
Yes, I have.
Oh, sweet Jesus, are we going to talk to them?
These ladies are fabulous.
We're going to talk to them. And as I understand it, there's a behavior helpline.
There is. At the shelter.
My God, how good is that? Tell me about that.
I got to tell you what, it's free. You can call. They try to get back within 24 hours, I guess. 24 to 48 hours. You can call and say, oh my gosh, my dog is digging in the backyard and I don't know what to do, and they will call you back. They will talk to you. They will also send you some information, via email if you need it. They do everything that they can to try to help you get through the behavior problem. So they give you tips and advice. It's absolutely free. You don't have to have adopted your pet from us. The main goal of this is to keep pets in the homes so they don't come into the shelter. So any advice that we can give you, whether it's dogs and digging, cats and litter box, you need a little bit of extra help with critter care, maybe even, they are there to help, and they are fabulous.
And the Humane Society's website is phenomenal. I think it's phenomenal. And you also have, it has all the information in it that is just amazing that you can go to, and it's located where again?
nehumanesociety.org.
Okay.
And there's a whole behavior section that you can go find downloadable tips as well. So you can get tip sheets on, oh my gosh, I want to introduce my dog to my cat. How the heck do I do that? Well,
that
we've
was
got
one
it.
of our questions.
Well,
Would you
good.
just not go there yet? I'm trying to keep a hold of this, Pam. All right, now, Pam, would you please introduce our mavens in the studio for us?
I absolutely will. To
One at
my
a time.
direct left is Pascal Smith.
Pascal.
Pascal.
Now, Pascal, how long have you worked for the Humane Society?
I have been there a year and a half.
And where were you before?
The Omaha Zoo.
So we're sort of an animal chick?
Yes.
Okay.
Love them.
What
Love
did
them.
you do at the Omaha Zoo, out of curiosity?
I was down in the Red Barn and worked with the goats and our...
You
we now
worked
have
with the goats?
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
raccoons. We had our African wild dogs for a while.
Okay. Be sure and get near the mic. Chad's pointing at the mic to me, so I need to do it, but I can't see your face with the mic. These are big mics. Okay, so you went to the zoo, and then you went to the Humane Society.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you like your job at the Humane Society?
I love it.
Why?
I love it. I get to do everything that I really want to. I get to work with our dogs. I work with our cats. I get to work with volunteers, and I also get to engage with the public as well and help them with what they need to know about their pets. And maybe they're thinking about adopting a pet and they have a few questions, so I'm there to help.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then who do we have here?
We have Angela Young, and she is also one of our fab behavior chicks.
Okay, Angela.
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you worked at the Humane Society?
I have worked for the Humane Society for 3 years, and prior to that, I was a dog groomer specializing in fearful and aggressive dogs.
Whoa, a dog groomer.
Yeah, I was.
That's really I have a toy poodle, 2 pounds. Scares everybody. He's just vicious, and it's just I love animals. I just love animals. And who are you? And first of all, how long have you been at the Humane?
3 years.
3 years.
3 years, ma'am.
Okay, and what is it you like to do at the Humane Society? What's your
My passion? Well,
Passion.
currently I work in the behavior modification program. So every day I get to help dogs that maybe normally wouldn't be adoptable at another shelter, and we have a special program where I get to help them get over fear issues, maybe issues with guarding, food, resources, toys. Sometimes these dogs come in, they haven't had a lot of abundance in their life, and I get to show them that the world's not a scary place, and there are people that love them
how
and
sweet.
will give them a
Oh
chance.
my God, that
Yeah.
was so sweet.
And for instance, Bullet here is one of those dogs that came in that we couldn't even touch him at
Hold
first.
up, Bullet. Can you hold him up so they can
can.
see his face?
This is Bullet.
This is Bullet. He's adoptable. What kind of dog is our Bullet?
Bullet, I believe, is a Papillon, some sort of terrier mix.
Okay.
We're not sure.
Okay.
But he was, and he's got a weird little foot here that kind of leans off to the side. He was very scared. I know I love you too. I know we're talking about you. And wouldn't come, up from the back of the kennel, a little snappy. Look at him now, because we gave him the time and the love. He's become kind of a courageous guy.
It just needs time and love.
Yeah.
If I just looked at the website, there was a group of dogs that you just brought in. What were they?
Those were the doodles. The
Doodles. What are
Aussie
doodles? Aussie doodles.
Yeah, they're standard poodle mixes that are mixed with Australian shepherds, I believe.
And how big are they?
Ranging anywhere from about 45 to 65 pounds.
Okay. And they're all ready to be adopted? Because
They-
as I understand, they came from a trainer who wasn't giving them care. Is that correct?
They came from a retired breeder.
A retired breeder.
Yeah,
okay.
that didn't have the time to just properly socialize them. They seem to be pretty well cared for health-wise, but they just haven't had a lot of opportunities to interact with
So
people.
they don't know how to interact with people. That's a big thing with animals,
is.
isn't it? I have a dog who was abused, and he barks constantly when people come to the house or the apartment.
Sure.
Truthfully, I like it. It makes me feel good. I'm walking him. Nobody's going to come up and bother me because he gives this bad-looking thing. So, dogs are caring animals that really do protect
Yes,
us
they
quite a
are.
bit. When we talk about, and I love your shirt. Can you push out your chest a little bit,
Little
baby,
bit.
so everybody can see. Animals do speak, but only to those who know how to listen. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? You know what a dog's life? Have you ever thought about a dog's life? Mm-hmm. You know what it is? Go ahead, ask me. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What's a dog's life?
They eat, they poop, and they sleep. I mean, really. I could live like that. I could live like that. No, so as you are training, what would you say the most common problem with a dog is? I'll start with you, young lady, Pascal. And by the way, where'd you get the name?
It came from my father, actually. He used to program in a computer programming language named Pascal. So when my mom sent him off to fill out the birth certificate, that's what came up.
It's a programming name?
Yep, computer
Is it
programming.
Greek? Isn't it Greek?
It is also a Greek name. It's related to Easter, the Easter child.
That's right, Pascal. Oh my God, how cool. Do you do a lot of eggs now?
I do eat a lot of Easter eggs.
Okay,
I feel
all
like
right.
it's my duty to do
It is
that.
your duty, darn it. It is your duty. Okay. So as we're coming to, let's say, a dog, what do you find that is a common problem that people come to you with?
I think most of the issues that I kind of come across are with our younger adolescent dogs. So dogs who
Adolescent means?
anywhere from 6 months to about 2 or 3 years, depending on the breed.
Because the dog years are 3 times, is that correct? Or 7?
Yeah, 7, yeah. But
Yeah, it depends on breed, but we're looking at, so the younger dogs, they really start becoming more independent. As puppies, they tend to follow you a little bit more, so people don't worry about them as much, but once they hit this adolescent stage, they like to explore their environment a little bit more. They start developing bad habits because they're dogs, and dogs like to chew and dig, and
People do that too. Yeah.
that's true.
do that too.
That's true.
And if someone comes to you with a cat, what is their main thing? What do you find often?
Litter box issues, not using the litter box, and also introducing new pets into the home is a big one. How to deal with bringing a new pet into a home that already has cats in it.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say your main thing that you deal with a dog?
Lately, we've had a lot of calls on separation anxiety, like what to do with my dog when I go to work. Maybe I live in an apartment and my dog is barking and my neighbors are complaining, stuff like that. So we have a lot of those calls that we deal with as well.
Okay. What would you tell them to do for a dog with a separation anxiety?
Well, it depends on how severe it is. A lot of times people are not used to maybe crating their dogs, or they don't get their dogs used to the crate before they leave them. Like maybe I just got a new job, my schedule's changed, whatever. So we want to desensitize and make that crate a really cool place to be. We also want to give our dogs something to do while we're gone. You know, they're used to us being around. They depend on us, you know, for entertainment, those kind of things. So we want to give them something to make them feel good, even though we're not there.
I leave the TV on. Is that
Leave the TV on, leave the radio on, noises that they would normally hear when you're there.
Right.
And, you know, they're not sitting there writing their memoirs, you know, waiting for you to come home. You give them games or things that have treats in them, something just to engage their mind, so they're just not sitting there going, gosh, like, where's mom, what's going on?
But my dog's 6 years old, and he's just sits all the time, just lays all the time, doesn't do much.
Okay.
Okay, so I just leave the TV on.
And for some dogs, that's great. My dogs, I just leave the radio on, and they're just fine.
Okay.
So
Do you crate them?
I don't have to crate mine anymore. I started out that way, but I don't have to now.
What is that crate thing? Talk to me about the crate.
Well, dogs are generally den animals. They kind of sometimes...
They're den animals.
Yeah, they like a little space that maybe is just their own, kind of the safe space that they can go to. Even when you're there, sometimes they just kind of want to take a bone and sit alone somewhere and be comfortable. Mm-hmm. So we want to, some people don't feel comfortable leaving their dogs out when they're gone. Maybe they're working on potty training issues. Maybe their dog likes to chew up the remote, you know, something like that. Mm-hmm. So we want to put them in an area that they're safe and that they feel comfortable in. And sometimes a crate is a perfect place for that. We sell those very wire crates and, a lot of the stuff at the shelter. But you want that crate to be this really cool place. Like you want to give them special treats when they're in there. Or a Kong. We use a lot of stuffed frozen Kongs, things that take them a little time. Special chews. Not rawhides, though, because you want to make sure you supervise rawhides. They're choking hazards.
Rawhides are choking hazards?
They are.
Interesting. So you brought up, Pascal, the litter for the cat. And I was looking at it, and that seems to be a big thing. Tell me about the litter. I'm definitely not a cat woman, so I don't know a darn thing about cats. And Elf used to say, we don't want to talk about Elf, but tell me about the cat litter. I mean, how choosy can they be? I mean, really, let's talk about this cat.
Cats can be very picky about where they're going to go. They definitely want to make sure that their litter box is clean. Cats have a natural drive to use substrate that they can dig in, so litter boxes fit very well with them. So you don't necessarily have to train them how to use it. We just have to set it up so that they want to use it. We usually recommend, and most people will recommend, that for every cat you have one litter box plus an extra one. So 1 cat, 2 litter boxes. 2 cats,
really?
3 litter boxes. Yes. Sometimes they don't want to share, so they want to make sure that they have their own plus an extra in case some cats like to pee in one and poop in the other. So if you only have one, you're going to run into some problems as well.
And then you need to clean them.
Yes. Clean daily.
So, does a litter box have to be bought? I mean, does it need to be like that white stuff, or can a litter box just be a box you put sand in?
I would go with a more commercial litter. A lot of cats prefer an unscented, scoopable litter because the granule's a little smaller. It doesn't irritate their feet as much. And cats are sensitive to smell. So if you get a scented litter, especially a citrus smell, they tend to shy away from that. They don't like the smell of citrus.
They don't like citrus smells?
No, they don't.
They sell citrus-smelling cat litter.
Yes, they do.
Do people know this?
Apparently not.
Well, thank God we're getting the word out. There's some stressed cats out there so they don't like citrus.
No.
Nope. It's one of the things that we use to help deter them from areas that they might be doing a bad behavior, a scratching or a chewing behavior. We'll recommend putting a citrus smell there to help deter them from that area.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
I know. They're a gold mine of information, these ladies are.
So, when I walk my dog, he's smelling everything. What's he smelling? What's he looking for? You are exactly where you need to be, and I've got 3 women in this studio who are just having a great time together. This is Conversations with Suzanna. It is on the World-Herald Live app. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 to 1. With this app, you get a direct line into the studio. If you had the app downloaded, you might be worried not that you can't listen, but you just press a little button and you get in the studio. If you have questions for our animal behaviorists today, we're ready to hear them. The number is 402-255-2000. Just give us a call, and our handsome Chad in the other room will pick up the line and talk to you. We have 3 wonderful women in the group who have a job of taking care of animals and helping animals be better and adults be better. We're going to start with your name, young lady, is?
I'm Pam Weiss, and I do marketing for the shelter.
Okay, and you're?
Pascal Smith, and I work in the behavior department.
Okay, and you like eggs?
I do love Easter eggs.
Okay, and you're?
I'm Angela Young, and I also work in the behavior department.
Okay, so when we call the behavior line, would you happen to know it offhand what it might be?
I do. It is 402-905-3421.
3421.
905-3421.
So if somebody has an issue with their animal, you're there from 9 to 5, right? What happens if the animal is naughty? What happens if the animal naughty? Can we just call in and leave a message?
Yep, so our line will go directly to a voicemail where you can leave a message, and we try and pick up those messages every couple of hours.
Okay.
We have someone there Monday through Sunday, all
Wow.
week.
Wow.
I can also say that you can email on our website. You just email behelp@anyhumanesociety.org. You can email your questions or whatever, and these guys also check their email. So they're all over the place. That's why they're not always on the phone,
Marvelous.
because sometimes they're on email, but that's a way that people can communicate with us too.
We're about helping. I'll be honest with you. I have a dog. My husband has a dog, and I call him my personal trainer because he makes me walk. He's a wonderful dog. Let's talk about the evidence of boo-boos. Okay? The evidence of boo-boos. So we have a cat who's marked an area with little colored water, and has maybe relieved themselves in a certain spot on our carpet. Okay? A dog, they can smell when somebody. So the cat smells about 1,000 times stronger than humans. Is that correct?
I know it's a lot stronger than ours.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what it says on here. Just agree with Dale.
Yes,
Thank
that's
you,
it.
honey. I'm just reading from here. Okay, so your cat's sense of smell is nearly 1,000 times better than yours. So the litter box being cleaned, the feces and clumps daily are being cleaned, but if they do it in a no-no place, our dogs and our cats, they will smell that place and make that place a place to go again and again. Is that what cats and dogs do?
It's possible there'll be odor cues left in the carpet or whatever.
Okay.
It's best to clean those areas up with an enzymatic cleaner.
Enzymatic. What?
Yeah.
Give me a name. Enzymatic.
Like Nature's Miracle makes a really good one. Out Urine makes a really good one.
Okay. As you're being licked on the neck with the dog, I'm so jealous. All right, go ahead.
But they have a special bacteria in them that breaks down the urine and gets rid of those odor scents. A lot of times people will go and put, first of all, never put ammonia or anything like that on there. That just attracts them right back to that spot.
No, because
Yes.
this says ammonia.
No.
Oh, I'm so glad you're
No
here.
ammonia.
Okay, fine.
And a lot of other cleaners, they're just sudsy and everything. They kind of cover up the scent. But not really, not for dogs and cats. They can still smell the urine. So you definitely want the enzymatic cleaner to actually break it down.
This also picks up vinegar.
Vinegar is okay, but it's not the best option.
Well, I try to do anything with what we have at home because sometimes we don't have the greenbacks to go buy
Sure.
the heavy things. And
Sure,
we
sure,
all
sure.
have vinegar, I think,
Yeah.
especially at Easter egg time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Pascal.
All right, Pascal. I'm going to just rule that all the time, all year round, babe, all year round. So, this also suggested putting a plastic carpet runner with a spike up.
Yeah.
What?
It's a deterrent. So, like, say you have a corner of the carpet, or even for cats, maybe scratching and stuff like that. If you take some of those rugs have those little spikes on the back of them, to
Right.
kind of hold them in place. Turn it upside down. They don't like the feel of it on their paws, and they'll start to stay out of that area. It just detracts them from
Now,
it.
can you do that for dogs too?
I think it works best for cats, but dogs aren't going to really love it either. I mean, those
Okay.
little pokies on their feet.
Okay. So we have to change the litter box once it. What if my cat decides to stop using the litter box? What if he says, I just don't think it looks good. What do you do with the cat?
The first thing to do, if it's something that's just come up, is to take them to the vet. Animals can develop urinary tract infections, especially if they've had one before. They can be recurrent. So getting them checked out so we can get antibiotics on board if we need to, or find out if there's something else that's going on. Two of the major reasons that cats will suddenly stop using litter box, one is medical issues, and the other one is stress related. So if you get the all clear,
Cats get stressed?
they do.
They do.
They do get stressed.
Do they know our bosses? I mean, what do you mean cats get stressed? What would stress a cat? What would stress a cat?
Changes in the home. If you're bringing in, maybe Aunt Flo came to visit, or we're bringing in a new puppy, that can stress them out. Holiday times, you've had a change in your schedule. Things are different for them. They don't like change very well. They like to ease themselves into change. So if something's happened quite suddenly, they can get stressed from that.
I have a girlfriend who's selling her home, and people will come look at her home, and she can't find the cats for a couple hours once she gets home because they hide. Is that
Right. They are hiding because they're not sure what's going on, so they're trying to feel safe and they're hiding.
Okay. Is there anything like music or anything? Is that good for cats too? I mean, does that help them?
You can play some soothing music. What I would suggest, if there's any way that when they come look at the house, if they could set up a hidey spot for the cats to go to so they can go somewhere and feel safe. Room.
How wonderful. Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about these cats who vomit. My dog vomits, by the way. Not real
Everybody
happy
does
with
it.
Really?
Everybody vomits sometime.
He vomits. Well, good thing, and I hope my husband's not listening, but he vomits on my husband's side of the bed, so don't. It's not a big deal for me. You know? So when my husband's not there, the dog sleeps with me, and my dog has little issues on his side of the bed. What could cause a dog and a cat to vomit? If it's not medical, now we have to get them checked out. Okay, have done that. What else could get a cat to vomit?
If they eat too quickly, sometimes they can throw it back up.
If they eat too quickly.
Same with dogs. If they eat too fast, sometimes they just want to bring it back up because they get air trapped in there.
It's air trapped in.
Could be.
Oh my heavens, how cool is that to know? So it might not be anything but traps, air trapped in their body. And too cold of food. My dog won't touch the food if it's cold.
He might just be picky.
Oh, sweet Jesus, he is. He is. What about the hairballs? What are hairballs? How does one get a hairball? How does a cat do a hairball?
So cats will groom themselves, keep themselves clean. They have little barbs on their tongue that aim everything back down. So when they are licking, all that fur gets trapped and they can't get it out, so they end up swallowing it, and that's how they end up with a hairball.
Now, this was God's design? They have this in there? Seriously?
Yep. It's on their tongue. It's to help when they're eating. If they were to eat in the wild, when they kind of lick those bones, it helps get that bone stuff off of there, and it helps mat their fur down where it's supposed to be. So it's supposed to help, but it gets those hairballs in there.
Wow. Okay, if my cat's a little aggressive, and...
Aggressive how?
Well, I'm reading it from here. What do you... Please, come on, help me here, honey. I'm looking at the questions here, and okay, just aggressive. He doesn't like you. He doesn't like my company. He's just... What's that? What do they do? That gnarling sound they do?
Hissing?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah. It scares the pants off of me. I'm sure it does to other people. So what if the cat's having issues? And angry and nasty to company or people outside and...
Sure. There's a lot of different reasons for that. It could be anything from petting aggression, where they just feel uncomfortable with too much petting. They're not like dogs. They're a little different.
Really? Cats can be petted too much?
Yeah, it can feel uncomfortable sometimes. So
Really?
like dogs, they seem to like it more. Cats, they can be like, a couple pets and they're done, and it's kind of more on their terms. You're being crazy.
You can put him down if you want to.
Yeah, you can put him down now. He's had enough FaceTime. He's adoptable, by the way.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
His name is Bullet, and he's available at the Nebraska Humane Society. Is he a diamond dog? And
yes.
would people
So
need
far,
to
right
email?
now, he's a diamond dog. But as he's
What does that mean, diamond?
Diamond dogs are dogs that have gone through the behavior modification program,
So
or maybe just are too uncomfortable to be in adopt because it's kind of a crazy place with everybody rolling through there. But they're available from the back by appointment. Generally, if
You are exactly where you need to be. I believe you are, because this is Conversations with Suzanna. We're heard every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're all about you. We're all about getting you information that you can use. Information you may not get in a digest or in a book, because I certainly did not know that cats didn't like citrus. I did not know that they would not go wee-wee in a citrus stuff. How cool is that to know?
Yeah.
And I'm paying for citrus litter. It's crazy out there. It's crazy. So today we have our Humane Society chicks They're all here. They're giving us information about how to be a little bit better with our animals, giving us ideas. If you have a question, please feel free to call. The number is 402 Chad. The number is. Are you on air? Because I didn't hear you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's try it again.
It's 402-255-2000.
I ended up, and I didn't even look at my normal things. Oh, and it's right here. Oh, my. We're talking animals, and I just become an animal when we talk animals. What is he doing? Okay. He wants to be held.
He's sitting pretty.
Sitting at the door.
Yeah, he's sitting. Okay, so here's the scoop. So, I'm a dog and cat owner. So there's some plants that are no-nos. Is that correct? My dog eats my food. He likes my food. He doesn't like dill. But I understand onions are not good for my dog.
Onions.
Besides the bad breath, there's other reasons.
Onions, grapes. Those are a couple that are tough on the organs.
Tough on the organs.
Yes, they're not good for dogs or cats.
Okay.
There are several plants, amaryllis. It used to say poinsettias, but they're kind of deciding that those aren't as toxic as they originally thought.
But they might be. I think it could be.
I'm still nervous. I wouldn't take a chance.
I would just say don't let the cat eat plants.
Probably not a good idea.
Okay.
Get some catnip.
Okay. So cats jump a lot. Mm-hmm. So they jump on counters and they jump on things. So if you have plants, you can't have plants in a house with a cat? Is that how that works? Because you can't trust the cat to be good while you're away? Are there naughty cats? Talk to me about that.
There are cats that do natural cat things, like jumping, that we sometimes don't appreciate. But I would certainly make sure if you are going to bring plants in that you check that they are not part of the toxic list.
So some plants are okay around cats.
You can get special cat grasses. There are cats that like to munch on grass.
Okay.
I think pet stores have them. You certainly don't want to. You don't want to go grab some grass out of your yard. You don't know if people have been putting pesticides down, so we don't want to get that in your home. But you can get specially grown for your animals. You can grow it yourself.
One of my friends just had a dog who had a big lump in it, and he went and had the lump taken out, and now he's making food for the dog rather than buying food. And apparently dogs like sweet potatoes?
They do. They do. And it's something we also use in the shelter when we have dogs that may have allergies to certain foods, certain kinds of proteins. We just recently had a dog named Charlie that was allergic to almost everything in regular dog foods that you would buy over the counter. So we have him on a special diet, and normally we give the other dogs in the shelter little pieces of chicken or hot dog or whatever, but he can't have any of those things. It would just blow up his skin. So sweet potatoes was a really good option, just little chunks. Sometimes you can bake them, but they often like them raw. Sweet potatoes.
I know my sister's dog he loves banana and carrots. He will train for carrots.
He will train for carrots.
Yep.
How good is it to have natural food? Is dog food really needed, or eating from the table?
There's a lot of talk about foods right now in dog foods. You want to make sure that you're getting a high quality food. The thing to remember is if it's not good for you to ingest, it's probably not good for your dog or your cat. And there's a lot of fillers, additives, preservatives. They're not good for you. Yes, and a lot of different foods. You want to really look at that bag and see what's in there. You don't. And some
I don't read labels on my food. I'm not going to start on my dog. He'll eat what I'm eating, except not dark chocolate, right? No dark chocolate?
No dark chocolate.
Okay.
No dark chocolate.
But he loves chocolates. Girl Scout Girl Scout peanut butter cookies.
Yes, dogs love peanut
butter. Oh my God, the peanut butter! It's just like he goes crazy. His whites of his eyes light up, and I see him. It's just he gets a little crazy. So, if you wanted to, it would be okay to do just scraps, table scraps.
Well, it depends. I mean, table scraps as in you went to McDonald's and got a hamburger and French fries, probably not. But if you're cooking really good meals for you, high quality proteins like, turkey, chicken, things for you, without a lot of additives, and lots of, mixing in fruits and vegetables. They love apples and things like that. Then,
They love apples?
They do.
Cats or dogs love apples?
Mostly dogs.
Uh-huh. What's a cat's favorite food?
Well,
you are exactly where you need to be. This is Conversations with Suzanna, heard on the World-Herald Live app. We are here from 12 to 1, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This show is just about empowering you, giving you ideas that you can take into your future and make life a little bit easier. Knowledge is power. So find it wherever you can, but you'll be sure and find it here, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The conversations will be about things you want to talk about. So if there's anything you want to talk about, please come to me on Twitter and Facebook, and we will give me a suggestions. I'll get the experts you need. So right now, I think it's time for us to give up the illusion that St. Patrick's Day has anything to do with alcohol. Let us talk to Morgan. Are you there?
I am here, Suzanna. How are you today?
I am totally blessed, Morgan. Tell me where you're from, young man.
I'm from Waterford City in Ireland. It's the southeast of the island of Ireland.
And what is, just out of ideas, what is the weather like in Ireland in the southeast part?
They call it the sunny southeast, but compared to Omaha, it's a little bit cloudier and a little bit wetter. It doesn't get as hot in the summer, doesn't get as cold in the winter, but you're blessed with the weather you have here. I'm looking out at a beautiful, sunny, bright day in the 80s, and I know if I was in Ireland, I'd probably be getting wet.
Really? So does it rains a lot in Ireland? So do you?
It certainly does. If anyone's going there, bring an umbrella.
Okay, so that is the tip. So tell me about St. Patrick's Day in Ireland. Now, he is the patron saint of Ireland. Is that correct?
That is correct, yeah. He was the first Bishop of Armagh and the first Primate of Ireland. And we have a St. Patrick's Day parade. It's a national holiday on the 17th of March every year. And in the parade, we'd have all of the community groups, and we'd have maybe the armed forces and maybe the fire brigade, and all of the different community groups would parade in all of the different towns and cities, and maybe even some villages as well. Generally in the morning, and then probably go for a meal with the family, and maybe end up in the pub for a couple of drinks later on that evening.
Okay, so what is St. Patrick? He was the first bishop of Ireland?
He was the first Bishop of Armagh, the first Primate of all Ireland. He wasn't actually Irish. We believe he was from Wales. It could have been England, it could have been Scotland, but it was definitely on the west coast, but probably Wales. And he was taken by Irish pirates when he was 16 and brought over to Ireland. And that was in 432 AD.
So he was taken.
A slave.
He was a slave. Oh, keep talking. I'm sorry.
He was a slave. He worked for 6 years as a slave, principally around the north or west of Ireland, and then he escaped and he went back to his home. And when he was home, he had a vision. And in the vision, he heard the voices of the people of Ireland calling him back. So he trained as a cleric, and he returned to Ireland. And when he was in Ireland, he preached the word of the Lord, and he explained the Holy Trinity to people, how there was three people in one by using a shamrock, which is a tree-leaf plant. I'm sure you know what a shamrock is.
Okay, tell me about that.
And, he wanted to explain how three beings could be in one, and he explained with three leaves of a shamrock, that's how you had the three beings in one. And that's why shamrock. Yeah, that's how shamrocks became important to the Irish. And while he was in Ireland, he went on a 40-day fast, and there's a famous summit in Ireland called Patrick. He spent 40 days fasting, and during that time, serpents attacked him. And that's why we have no snakes in Ireland, because he got rid of all of our snakes. And he fought the giant one in a lake called Loch Derg, the Red Lake. And they say that the lake turned red because of the spilled blood of the serpent.
Wow.
There's a lot of stories about St. Patrick in Ireland. He's very important to us. He became more important in the 17th century when a Waterford man, a Franciscan by the name of Luke Wadding, decided to spend some time investing in the history of St. Patrick, and he became the patron saint at that point. But it was Luke Wadding who brought about the day on the 17th of March when St. Patrick was thought to have died, and made that into a celebration.
Wonderful.
It's been our national holiday since.
Wonderful. Now, Morgan, what are you doing in my fine town of Omaha? Tell us about yourself a little bit. Besides coming for the weather. I've got to say that again. You're coming for the weather.
Well, you've got seasons over here, don't you? And we don't in Ireland. It's grey, and it doesn't get too hot and doesn't get too cold. But it's a beautiful day in Omaha. I was asked to come over here to do a particular job, and that's what I'm doing. I work in healthcare.
You work in healthcare.
But it's in healthcare. It's a lovely part of the world. You don't know how lucky you are here in Omaha.
Well, we should just download this and just play this all the time, where you're telling us how wonderful it is here, because, the things that we do so much, we complain about the most ridiculous things, but like we could change it. But I'm very glad to hear it. Are you able to say the name of your company and what it is you're doing?
I'm here to talk about St. Patrick. I'm not here to talk about myself.
Okay.
That wouldn't be fair to St. Patrick.
All right, Morgan, just out of curiosity, just for the women who are going swooning at your voice, are you married?
Yes, I am. Okay,
and you have children?
I do, yes, I have two.
Oh, I bet you're an awesome father. Is your wife in love
Thank you very much.
Is your wife in love with Omaha as well?
She loves it.
Well, I want to welcome you from Ireland. I hope you enjoy and I hope you're profitable here in Omaha. We're a great place to live.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for telling us about the in-depth scoop of St. Patrick.
That's no problem.
And God bless. Have a great day.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you. Goodbye.
This is Conversations with Suzanna. We're heard every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the World-Herald app. You can also go to omaha.com/Suzanna, and you will see the show rather than just hear the show. We're about empowering you. Please come back. We'll be here on Wednesday. We'll be looking for your calls and your thoughts. This is Conversations with Suzanna. God bless.